Welcome or welcome back. My name is Joanne and today I do have an eyeshadow look video. I mean, you already know from the title, but it's a 3 looks, 1 palette video. I haven't done this in a while, but it's the long weekend. I figured it's the perfect time to do it because I just got this palette. I feel like this is the last brand that you would see on my channel because of how much I say I don't love this brand, but it's the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. This is her newest release. She came out with 2 palettes like in a row. And the golden palette, I was intrigued, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, there isn't anything that's like really pulling me into it, even seeing it in store. And I initially wasn't gonna get this, but I went to Ulta today because of the MAC lipsticks on sale for half off. And their MAC section is right across from Natasha Denona. And they had this palette there. I saw it. I swatched a couple of the shimmers. The cats are going crazy. Okay. But I was like, this is a palette that I think I can get behind. So let me just open it up. I did take off the plastic that's on the mirror, but this is the palette. I know it's just a neutral brown palette, but this shade, what is it called? Phenomena, is like a red, green, gold type of multi-chrome. And I think Dynamism is supposed to be like a duochrome. I don't know. But a couple of these are very sparkly. Push, it's like that classic rose gold that has like a silver sparkle in it that I love. That's in the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette and in the McGrath Bronze Seduction palette. The shade that I used in my makeup Playtime, where I used that with the Urban Decay Naked palette. But I'm excited to use this. I do really like Natasha Denona's matte formula. It's her shimmers that really underwhelm me. But let me just stop rambling and get into my first look. I've primed my eyes with my MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre like I always use. I do not set my base with any shadow, any powder, anything. So let's just get into my first look. So I'm gonna go with one of my bling brushes. One of my bling brushes. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Fervor right here, which is just like this mid-tone brown. I like how this has a lot of depth. I think this one is her newer cream to powder formula. I'm interested in trying that out. Let me swatch that actually. I wanna know how it feels. Oh, that's so interesting. It feels like nothing. Like what? Okay, I think I'm definitely gonna use that one in my look. I'm gonna try to use all of the shades. So hold on. Actually, before I go into Fervor, I'm gonna take this Sephora Pro Crease 26 brush and I'm gonna go with the shade Ripe up here, which is above Fervor. It's just like a light peachy brown. I'm just gonna go in, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna use this as like a transition shade. Okay, that is more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, that's definitely a peachy shade. Again, I wasn't expecting to get this palette, but I literally saw it in store and there was one left. It's always when there's one left that really gets you. You're like, it's meant to be. There's one left, it's meant to be mine. You know? Oh my god, today I literally didn't do foundation because I just didn't want to, and I already have sparkle on my eye. Oops. Now I'm gonna go in with that shade Fervor. And just, I'm already sweating. And just put that on the outer corner into my crease. Like, her mattes are so pigmented and so blendable. Like, that was so effortless. Like, I understand the hype for Natasha Denona is probably mainly for the mattes, but I don't know. $70 just to pay for some mattes. I mean, do I want the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 palette? Yes. And is that $70? Yes. But what you gonna do? Yeah. You like what you like. That is really nice. I like that. Now I'm really glad I didn't get the golden palette, because if I saw this palette after that, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Why would you do that? That was like the mini Starlet and the I Need a Nude last year, like how that happened, because she released the mini Starlet first to get people to buy it, and then she released the I Need a Nude, and it's like, crap, I shouldn't have bought the mini Starlet. But this one actually didn't get leaked as all of her palettes do. Why are you so loud? Now I'm gonna go with the shade Flashover, which is the one I swatched before. That is so interesting. It picks up pretty easily on a brush. Okay, it's not super dark, but it is pretty pigmented. It may have gotten a little too much for one eye. I actually really like that shade. That's a pretty brown. That applies very easily, I will say. I feel like this brush is getting bigger and bigger the more I use it. It just keeps getting fluffier and fluffier. Okay, it seems like I'm literally just like moving the shade around my eye. That's so interesting. Actually really nice though. Again, I really like that shade. I'm just gonna go in with the same brush from before with no additional product and just blend out the edges. I mean, that was so easy to work with. I do want to go a little deeper with this look, so I want to take the shade Pep on my outer corner, which is the deepest brown. Just go with a little bit. And start placing that on the outer corner. Oh yeah, that definitely adds dimension. Even just that tiny bit. So let me go in with a little bit more. Her type of formula is the type of formula that I like with a deep shade. Like I mentioned with my Gourmand Girls Haunted palette, that one was too pigmented for my liking, just because literally a tiny bit and it's like wabam pigment. And normally I like that, especially when it's easy to blend out, but if it's a dark shade, like it takes so much longer to blend out, that I prefer a buildable formula for that. Okay, this eye always goes very crazy, so let me try to blend that out. Oh my god. Oopsies. This eye always gets carried away. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of that mid-tone brown that I use with this brush and just try to blend that out a little more. I think I need a little more on the other side now. I kind of lost that shade too. This is what happens when I'm trying to multitask while doing my eyeshadow. I think I want to go in with two shimmers. I think I want to go in with Dynamism, this one right here. And I think I want to go with Homey too. So Dynamism is going to be more like center to outer, just blending in with that deep shade. And then Homey is going to be the rest of the lid. And I think I'm going to start with Homey, and I'm going to use my finger with that one. I will use a brush with Dynamism, I think, just to see the difference. Okay, that's actually so pretty. Wait a second. Oh, okay. This is what I wanted from I Need a Nude. Like, what? Excuse me, Natasha? Okay. Yeah, I can get behind this palette 100%. Like, look at that. You can get like a little wash or like build it up a little more. That is really pretty. Can you see the sparkle? I film in natural lighting, so hopefully you can see the sparkle, because that's actually really pretty. Wow. Consider me impressed. By Natasha Denona. And then I'm gonna go in with this Sigma E54 brush. The thing about Sigma is they have so many influencers that are like pushing their products that I don't like, but I do like Sigma. Like I have their Ambiance palette right there, that gold palette, And I think it's such a nice formula. Like, I want more of their palettes. And their brushes are nice quality. It's just there are so many people pushing Sigma products. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit on my brush and see how this goes without spraying it. No glitter glue, nothing. Okay, I think that is exactly what I wanted. Like, I just wanted a little bit of something to mesh the two. Cute. I would love to use this all over my eye though. That would be so pretty. And I've heard Natasha Denona shadows are so hard to hit pan on that, like, you're most likely gonna get your money's worth out of it. That is such a pretty look. And I saw this palette and I was like, I'm not gonna get that. Here I am with it. And I honestly regret nothing. From this first look, she's a winner. Obviously, I have to use all the shades, which I'm gonna try to do in these 3 looks. So far, so good. I'm excited to continue using this. Now I'm gonna go in with that shade that I used with the dark brown with no additional product and just blend it into that Dynamism shade. Blend it into the shimmer. I think I'm gonna take a little bit more flash over, which is that deeper brown that I used on my outer corner with this brush, and just kind of try to blend it into this deep brown. Might end up being bad, but it's okay. I think I need a little bit more of that deep brown on this eye. Let me go in with that brush again, no additional product. Just try to blend that out. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Kind of. And then taking my brush from before and blending that out. Probably gonna get sparkle everywhere now. That's okay. I love sparkle. Do the same on this eye with this brush. Like, this is my good eye. This eye never really has problems. It's this eye that likes to go wild. My lower lash line, I think I want to take a little bit of flash over on the outer half and then blend it out with Fervor right here. On that big fluffy brush before, I think I'm gonna go in the shade Mellow and just take it to blend out everything. At least try to. I think this one, oh, this one pulls very peachy. Like, I think that's actually helping. And that actually did help. Okay. I have been enjoying putting some shimmer on my lower lash line. We'll see if I do that. My inner corner. For my inner corner, I think I'm gonna go with the shade Fancy right here. It's like the champagne pink. It's either this one or Elm, and Elm is just very gold toned. So I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of Fancy. Again, I'm not gonna spray my brush just to see how it goes. Oh, that one's sparkly. That's pretty. I did end up dragging it a little bit onto my lower lash lines. I don't know if you can see it, but I think that's cute. Okay, let me go finish up my makeup. I'll probably do a liner, a waterline, and a lip. Why does my face look so much darker than my chest? I didn't even use foundation. Anyways, let's just go and do that. Here's my finished first look with the I Need a Warm palette. So pretty. Let me just, can you see the sparkle? I hope so. Let me tell you what I decided to use. I didn't even put on a waterliner. Oh well. So I used my Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade Blackout. I really love using this as a liner. It's a great formula. It's very thin, very easy to work with, dries down pretty quickly. I love this. I would love a brown shade after I use up my brown liners. I do have 2 pencil liners, before getting a brown one of this. But I used this and I went back to use my Melt gel liner, and that just seems so thick. I really love using this. Yes, is it tedious because you have to squeeze it out? Yeah, it is. But I love the consistency of this. It's so nice to work with. And then I actually forgot to put on a water liner. I probably would have used my Essence Silky Nude eyeliner. That's just my go-to. And then my mascara is the YSL Lash Clash. This is my only mascara I own. Again, I love this. I would repurchase it, but in the waterproof just because of my lashes. For my lips, I used the Melt lip liner in the shade Cashmere, but honestly, I didn't even need a lip liner. And then I went in with the MAC. This is their newer reformulated matte lipstick. This is what I went in to get today. I got this shade and Marrakesh. But so this is the shade Warm Teddy. This is one of the new shades, I believe. It is kind of similar to Velvet Teddy. I do own a couple of their older formulas when they were on sale last year, and I did pick up Velvet Teddy. This still has like that pinky nude type of vibe, but it's warmer and it just suits my skin tone better than Velvet Teddy. So I'm glad I picked up this one, and the packaging is kind of hefty. And the formula, it's thinner than the older formula. So if you found the older formula too thick and you want something thinner, I would say go ahead and try one of these. Test it in store. But I love this lipstick so much. It's such a pretty color, and I actually don't have anything like this in my collection. Like, I don't have anything like this, like peachy, in my collection. There's the first look. And now let's get into the second one. We're just gonna jump right into look number 2. I hope my foundation matches me. Let me know what you think. I think it's actually okay now after I put everything on, because at first I was like, that's a drastic difference between my face and my body, but I think it's okay. I did get a new foundation today. It's the Lancome Tanti Doll because it's half off at Ulta. But let's get into look number 2 using the I Need a Warm palette. So I'm going to try using shades that I haven't used before. So using my Bling Brushes brush, I want to see if there's a big enough difference between Soft Spot and Vim. In the pan, this one looks slightly darker, but then swatched out they look very similar. So I just want to see on the eye. So I'm just going to take Soft Spot, that lighter one, and that was very powdery. Just gonna tap it off, and I'm gonna take it on the outer corner into my crease like I always do with these shades. Okay, now I think I'm centered. And I do have my MAC Paint Pot on as a base, as an eyeshadow base like I always do. And then I was actually gonna film this look tomorrow, getting ready to go to my brother's because we're going to visit him tomorrow just for the day. But I decided that I just wanted to do my makeup on my own time. But I used a few new to me products. So I used my Lancome foundation. I think it's actually a good, I don't know, sometimes I feel like it looks a little too cool. But then other times I'm like, I think it looks fine. I think it also depends on the mirror I use. I don't know. So I'm testing out that, and then I did get one of those Dibs Duo Sticks. I was just very curious, and yes, I have said in the past that I don't like cream products. I've actually grown to kind of enjoy using them. That's all thanks to the products that are in my project pan. My Rare Beauty bronzer stick I've really been enjoying using, and I've actually been enjoying using my MAC Glow Play Blush as a layering type thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm changing my preferences, what can I say? And then I also got a new setting spray. I actually have it right next to me. I got the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte. The sprayer literally sucks. It sprays everywhere. I don't know if you can still see it, but like it like sprayed onto my shirt, and I mean, I think my face looks pretty nice right now. I did try the Lancome foundation years ago. Like I was in high school, which I graduated in 2017. So it's been a while since I tried that, and I know they reformulated, so I'm like, might as well, but it looks so nice. I did use my kimchi sheet powder. Okay, let me go into the shade Vim, which is the darker one of the two, at least it should be. So I wanted to try that again because I've heard really good things about it, and I've been wanting to try it. And I mean, I was like, it's half off today, I might as well just go try it. Okay, I think, I don't know if there's enough of a difference for them to be in the same palette. Okay, yeah, that one's definitely a tiny bit darker, but I feel like if I built up the other one more, it could get to the same depth. But yeah, so I got the foundation, the bronzer blush duo, and the setting spray, and I must say, so far I'm liking all three of them. Me saying I like a cream product, who am I, honestly? So I think tomorrow, instead of filming this second look, I'm gonna film my makeup playtime and use those products on camera, just because I think that would be fun. And just blend that out. So I want to go into the multi-chrome phenomena right here. This like red green, oh yeah, you can see that, like red gold green shade right there. Do I want to go into that one? Yeah, why not, you know? And I'm just gonna take it with on my finger because that's how I normally apply my shimmers. It's very smooth, but it still has some sparkle to it. And that's fun. Like, I like that she included a multi-chrome. I know not everyone loves multi-chromes, but I think it's fun to include one just to have something different and fun to play with. Yeah, honestly, can you see that sparkle? Like this palette, this is her best one yet that I've tried. This is what I wanted I Need a Nude to be. Like when I saw all those sparkly shades, this is what I thought it was gonna be. Now let me just blend that into the mattes. I mean, if you're a makeup lover and a makeup collector, you probably have these shades over again in your collection, especially if you love indie makeup, because that's what I love. You probably have such nice like multi-chromes and duochromes in your collection already. So really, do you need this palette? No. I mean, if you're interested in it, I say at least go in store and look at it yourself, because these are my kind of tones. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of the shimmer. Like, I don't know if you can see the shift all that well. Let me try the mirror technique. I don't think you can see in the mirror any different, but yeah. It's not like the most shifty shade ever, especially if you're used to indies, but I think it's nice that she included it. I guess this is just like an easy, quick look, just with a pop of some on the lid. So I'm just gonna take Vim. I'm just gonna take the same two mattes. So I'm gonna take Vim on my outer half of my lower lash line, and I'm gonna take Soft Spot and then blend that out. And then the shadow yesterday, it stayed pretty well. I mean, it did kind of fade away, but also I was crying. My eyes were very watery because of a book I was reading. I was reading like one of those modern day poetry books, and there was a section that just really hit hard right now. And it really got to me. So yeah, it did fade a little, but I mean, my eyes were watering. Yeah, I am so glad I did see this in store and picked it up, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have tried it and really enjoyed it, because so far so good. And I just have one more look to do after this one, which is crazy. At this point, I've used all of the mattes. It's just 1, 2, 3 shimmers and like this like satiny shade. I'll probably use those all in my third look. I want to try to use all the shades in these looks like combined. Just I don't like it when people try to use all the shades in one look, because like that's not realistic to how you would do your makeup. I mean, if that's how you do your makeup, go for it by all means, but for me that's not the vibe. And then I'm gonna go in the shade Elm right here for my inner corner. That is so pretty. It definitely has like a yellow tone to it, but it's so bright. Yeah, based on the second look, if you love warm tones, because this isn't like, if you look at this palette, right, it's not super like orangey warm. Like it's more like peachy neutral warm, right? It's like a neutral leaning warm palette. I mean, it's a part of the I Need a Nude collection, right? So I would say if you like warm tones and you've been eyeing Natasha Denona, I would say check this out in store, see if you like it. But if you don't like warm tones, or you have plenty in your collection, you do not need this. I did not need this, okay? Did I need a warm? No, I did not, but I wanted it. So I got it. And I'm honestly so glad I did, because this is becoming my favorite Natasha palette. Which doesn't say much, because I didn't really have a favorite Natasha palette before this one. Let's be honest. Well, I did. It's the Yucca palette, but this is really nice. Okay. I'm literally gonna have a whole review thoughts part at the end of this, so let me just stop rambling and put on eyeliner and a lip, and I will come back with my full second look. Here's the second look. So pretty. Let me go over things that I have used. I forgot another waterliner. That's okay, whatever. The eyeliner I used is the Victoria Beckham eye pencil in the shade Cocoa. It's her deep brown shade. And then my mascara, YSL Lash Clash. You already know it's the only mascara I own. I don't care to have multiple mascaras. Once I go through one, I'll purchase another one. If there's one that I really want to try, I'll purchase that. If not, I'll just repurchase my favorite. And for my lips, I decided to go in with my Odenzion and Yalaka gloss in the shade Spectral. You can't get this anymore. I just thought I want a little glossy gloss, and I thought it went well with this look. So thoughts so far, really enjoying this palette, very surprisingly. And again, I'm gonna have my entire thoughts at the end of this video. So that being said, let's get into my third and final. Let's get into my third look with my I Need a Warm palette. It's been 2 days since I did my last eye look, and ignore how my makeup looks. I tried applying my foundation and everything with a brush today. I'm not used to using a brush. I always use a sponge. So ignore that. Like, it's not too bad, but could be better. So I only have 2 shimmers left to use. I'm pretty sure I mentioned I've used all the mattes. So I'm just gonna do a matte combination that I haven't done for the video yet, and then use the last 2 shimmers. I'm not gonna make this look super deep, so I'm just gonna take my bling brush and go in with the shade Fervor, which I used in my first look. So I do have lots of thoughts on this palette. Overall, I'm very surprised by it. I do like the variety of mattes that you have, because I mean, this one pulls a little more orange than Soft Spot does. So it just gives you a different tone. I'm honestly pretty surprised by how much I enjoy this palette. This makes me think I would pick up more of her palettes in the future, as long as it's the same formula as this one. I mean, her mattes are so nice. Like, that just blended itself out. Like I said, I'm not going to use too many shades today. So, and then I'm going to go in with the shade Vim right here. The center, like, mid-tone brown shade. And just put it on my outer corner into my crease. But focusing it on the outer half of my lid. Like, are all of these looks neutral, warmish, brown looks? Yes. But you have a variety of depth. You can put one of the lighter browns in the crease all over the lid. Put on a shimmer if you want to. Call it a day. It can be that easy. Or you can do like a warm smoky eye with the shade Pep, which is the dark brown right here. You got options. And then you have, oh wait, I haven't used Hanker, which is a satin dark brown right here. Let me just take it on this brush and see how it goes. So I'm gonna go with the shade Hanker here, which is a deep satin shade. I'm focusing that on my outer corner. That would be pretty all over the lid, actually, and then just topping a shimmer on top of it too. I mean, it works well how I'm using it now. Taking that first blending brush and just blending everything out. And I'm just gonna use my fingers for these shimmers. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Push right here on most of my lid. And then I'm gonna take Snug on like the inner part, maybe into my inner corner. We'll see. But first I'm gonna go in with Push. It's so pretty. Can you see that? Oh my god. I'm gonna take that on most of my lid. That is such a pretty shade. Definitely my favorite in the palette. That is so pretty. Wow. Okay. Natasha really came to play with this palette. I'm gonna take this Singe Beauty EO1 brush. I'm gonna go with the shade Snug and then just put it like right here. Maybe I'll take it on into my inner corner. Depends how it looks. I'm just gonna take it on its side to do that. Or maybe not. Honestly, that matches Push pretty well. Maybe we'll take that on my inner corner. Just wrap it around. Why not? It's not super bright. So I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Fancy right here. And I think I used this one in my first look as well. And just top it on top of that, just to make it a little brighter. I think that's cute. And then on my lower lash line, I'm gonna take, I think I'm gonna take Hanker on the outer half. And then I'm gonna swatch. And I'm gonna blend that out with the shade Fervor, so that first shade that I used. There's the look. Let me go finish my makeup and I will come back with my final thoughts on this palette. Here's my third and final look. Let me go through what I used. Again, I went for a brown liner. I used my Victoria Beckham liner in the shade Cocoa. My mascara is, again, YSL Lash Clash. For my waterline, I don't know if you can see it, but I used ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Punch. I love using this with neutral looks. It's just so fun. It just adds a little pop of color. Very subtle. And then for my lips, I used my Melt Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Cashmere, and I topped it with my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Supermodel. I really like how it looks. On camera, I feel like my base looks perfectly fine, and in person, it looks like it's like meshed pretty well. So maybe I didn't do too bad with the brushes today. There are my 3 looks, so now let's get into my final thoughts on the I Need a Nude palette. No. Not I Need a Nude. There are my 3 looks, so now let's get into my final thoughts on the I Need a Warm palette. So this is what the palette looks like. It matches I Need a Nude. It's a part of that collection, you know? this is what it looks like, and I do have lots of thoughts. Let me grab out my notes. Okay, I have all of my notes written down. So for the mattes, it's the classic Natasha Denona formula. They're very easy to blend and they build very easily on each other. It's almost like they blend themselves. I'm just reading what I have written down. The shade Flashover, which is their new formula right here. The shade that I used in my first look, which is the Slip Cream Matte formula. It's very interesting. Swatching it, it feels so silky. It almost feels like nothing. I will say the shade doesn't look as deep when it's put on the eye. It's a pretty pigmented shade. It almost like moves when you blend. So it's probably best if you place it down and then use a different brush to blend it out. But other than that, it worked perfectly fine in that first look. So those are my thoughts on the mattes. And also, like I said before, I like how you have a different variety of depths in here. Like Soft Spot and Fervor, these two shades right here, they have different undertones to them. And Vim is just like slightly deeper than Soft Spot. So those are my thoughts on the mattes. The shimmers, this is where it gets interesting. They're sparklier than I imagined them, especially Push, the shade I used today. So pretty. Love that shade. The shade Phenomena, which is the multi-chrome in the palette. If you're used to an indie multi-chrome, it's not as impactful as that one, but it's still very pretty. And like I said, doing that look, I like that she added this to have a little bit of fun in the palette, like not just have all neutral shades, all browns, just adding a little something to the palette. I really like the addition of that. It's not the most sparkly shade ever, but it's still very pretty on the eye. And there's still sparkle in it. So I actually really like that shade. And it has a very smooth formula, which makes it nice to use your finger. It feels nice. What can I say? It applies easily. You know, I don't think I tried using it with a brush, but I tend to apply my shimmers with my fingers anyways, so it doesn't really matter to me. The shade Homie, I think, is another new formula. It's their Metal Gloss formula. This is actually pretty sparkly. I really like that. I used that one in my first look. It really surprised me in a good way with the sparkle. It was just so pretty. I could see myself using that all over the eye. And again, I want to try Dynamism all over my eye as well. I think that would be really pretty. And then the shade Elm is their Sparkling Foiled formula, which is the same as Push, the one that I used today. But Elm forms more just like a metallic than this. Like, it doesn't look the same. Even just swatch, let me show you. Yeah, so there's Elm, and then there's Push, the shade that I used today. See, they look so different. Like, that one just looks like a light metallic, whereas this one, there are actual sparkles in it. So I don't know what that's about, because my favorite shade in the I Needed a Nude is also Sparkling Foiled. I think that was the first Sparkling Foiled. Is it? Or was Yucca? I don't even know anymore, okay? But Muse is a Sparkling Foiled, and that's my favorite shade in that palette. And even that one is different from both of these. I don't know. I think it's more similar to Push. But that one's almost like a little more flaky, if you will. But my overall thoughts on this palette is I am thoroughly impressed and surprised by how much I enjoyed this. I can see myself using this all the time. Honestly, especially the shade Push. Again, probably my favorite shade in the palette. It's just so pretty. So pretty. And so if you were eyeing this, and you're into the color story, you like a neutral, warm brown look, I say go for it. But again, you don't need it. Like, the question is, did I need a warm? No, I didn't. I definitely didn't. but I am very glad I picked this up, and I say if you're interested in it, go ahead and try it. Again, go check it out in store if you can find one near you, because I think that's the best way to go instead of just buying it online and being like, I hope I like this, you know? That's what I did with I Need a Nude, and I shouldn't have done that. Lesson learned. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you picked up this palette down in the comments. I would love to know. And I hope you have a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.